Unveiling the Shadows, a journey through Florida's most haunted roads beneath the sweltering sun and amid the lush, sprawling landscapes of Florida lies a darker side, a realm where history and horror intertwine on lonely stretches of asphalt. These roads, often cloaked in whispers of tragedy and mystery, have earned their place in local lore as some of the most haunted in the state. From spectral apparitions to inexplicable phenomena, these pathways are not merely routes from one destination to another, they are gateways into the unknown. On this journey, we will delve deep into the eerie tales that haunt Florida's highways, uncovering stories that send shivers down spines and leave travelers questioning what lies beyond the veil of reality. Florida's haunted roads are more than just urban legends whispered around campfires. They are living testaments to the past, where the echoes of history reverberate through time. Each road carries its own chilling narrative, some born from tragic accidents, others steeped in centuries-old secrets. Whether it's the ghostly hitchhiker who vanishes without a trace or the phantom lights that dance in the distance, these accounts defy explanation and challenge our understanding of the world. What makes these stories so compelling is their ability to blur the line between myth and reality, leaving even the most skeptical minds unsettled. In this article, we'll explore the spine-tingling histories of Florida's most infamous haunted roads, examining the events that have fueled their reputations and the personal accounts that continue to terrify those brave enough to traverse them. We'll also analyze the cultural significance of these tales, considering how they reflect the fears and fascinations of society. By the end of this journey, you'll find yourself questioning whether these roads truly harbor spirits, or if they simply hold a mirror to our deepest anxieties. So buckle up, turn down the lights, and prepare to embark on a harrowing ride through Florida's most haunted byways, where every turn may reveal something far more sinister than you ever imagined. The Enigma of Orange Avenue. A haunting legacy in Orlando. Nestled within the bustling heart of Orlando, Orange Avenue stands as a stark contrast to the city's vibrant theme parks and neon-lit attractions. Beneath its seemingly ordinary facade lies a dark history that has earned it a reputation as one of Florida's most haunted roads. Stretching through the historic neighborhoods of downtown Orlando, Orange Avenue is lined with old oak trees whose gnarled branches seem to whisper secrets of the past. It is here, along this storied thoroughfare, that countless tales of paranormal encounters have emerged, leaving residents and visitors alike with an unsettling sense of unease. The haunting legacy of Orange Avenue dates back to the early 20th century, when the road served as a critical artery for the city's burgeoning growth. However, progress came at a cost. Historical records reveal that several tragic accidents occurred along this stretch during the 1920s and 1930s, many involving horse-drawn carriages and early automobiles colliding in the dim glow of gas lamps. One particularly chilling incident involved a young woman named Evelyn Harper, who was struck and killed by a speeding vehicle while crossing the street near Lake Eola. Witnesses claimed to see her tattered dress fluttering in the wind moments before impact, a detail that would later become a cornerstone of the road's haunting lore. Decades after Evelyn's death, reports began surfacing of a ghostly figure resembling her walking along Orange Avenue late at night. Described as a pale woman in a flowing white gown, the apparition is said to appear suddenly in the path of drivers, only to vanish without a trace when approached. Many claim to have narrowly avoided collisions after spotting her in their headlights, describing a cold wave of dread that washes over them as she materializes. Some even report hearing faint, mournful cries carried on the breeze, believed to be Evelyn's voice pleading for justice or peace. Phantom echoes of State Road 44. When legends collide, State Road 44, winding through the picturesque yet eerily desolate landscapes of central Florida, is a road steeped in both beauty and tragedy. Known for its sweeping views of dense pine forests and tranquil lakes, this route hides a darker side beneath its serene veneer. It is here, along the shadowy stretches of SR 44, that two distinct yet interconnected haunting narratives have emerged, one rooted in the sorrow of a grieving mother, the other in the restless spirit of a wandering soul. Together, these tales paint a chilling portrait of a road where the boundaries between life and death blur, leaving travelers with unforgettable encounters that linger long after they've departed. The first haunting legend centers around a tragic event that occurred in the mid-1950s. Local folklore tells of a young mother named Mary Ellen Carter, who lived in a modest cabin near the road's edge. Her story is one of profound loss and desperation. According to accounts passed down through generations, Mary Ellen's infant son fell gravely ill one stormy night, prompting her to rush him to the nearest hospital miles away. In her haste, her car skidded off the rain-slicked road, plunging into a shallow ravine. Though Mary Ellen survived the crash, her child did not. Devastated by grief, she returned to the site of the accident repeatedly in the weeks that followed, searching for answers, or perhaps closure, that never came. Decades later, motorists traveling along SR 44 began reporting strange sightings near the spot where the accident occurred. Witnesses described seeing a distraught woman in a tattered dress standing beside the road, her face obscured by long, flowing hair. She appears to be holding something small and fragile in her arms, rocking back and forth as though comforting an unseen child. Drivers who stop to offer assistance are met with silence. The figure vanishes into thin air as they approach. Others recount hearing faint cries in the distance, reminiscent of a baby's wail, emanating from the woods lining the road. These unsettling encounters have led many to believe that Mary Ellen's spirit remains trapped in a perpetual state of mourning, unable to let go of the tragedy that defined her final days. Parallel to Mary Ellen's haunting tale is the legend of the Black-Cloaked Wanderer, a mysterious figure said to roam SR 44 under the cover of darkness. Unlike the spectral mother, this entity is described as a tall, gaunt man draped entirely in black, his face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat. Eyewitness accounts suggest that he appears suddenly in the middle of the road, forcing drivers to swerve to avoid collision. Those who manage to stop and investigate often find no trace of him, save for an overwhelming sense of dread that lingers in the air. Some speculate that the Wanderer may be connected to an unsolved murder case from the 1970s, in which a reclusive man vanished without explanation, leaving behind only his abandoned vehicle near the roadside. Others believe he is a guardian of sorts, warning travelers of impending danger or guiding lost souls toward redemption. The ghostly guardrails of U.S. Route 19, restless spirits on the highway U.S. Route 19, stretching across Florida's Gulf Coast, is a road that embodies both modern connectivity and ancient mystery. Known for its scenic views of coastal marshlands and quaint seaside towns, this highway holds a dark secret beneath its polished surface. It is here, along certain isolated stretches, that drivers have reported encounters with ghostly figures standing perilously close to the guardrails, their translucent forms illuminated only by headlights. These spectral apparitions, often mistaken for stranded pedestrians, have become the stuff of legend, sparking fear and fascination among those who traverse this haunted thoroughfare. One of the most widely shared accounts comes from a truck driver named James Holloway, who frequently travels U.S. Route 19 for work. Late one evening in 2016, James was navigating the highway near the town of Aripeka when he noticed a lone figure standing near the guardrail ahead. At first glance, it appeared to be a man in a dark coat, waving his arms as if signaling for help. Concerned, James slowed his rig to a stop and stepped out to assist. As he approached, flashlight in hand, the figure vanished into thin air, leaving behind no footprints or signs of disturbance. Shaken but determined to understand what he had witnessed, James contacted local authorities, only to learn that the area had been the site of multiple fatal accidents over the years. This pattern of disappearances is consistent with other reports from the region. Witnesses describe seeing figures of varying descriptions, men, women, and even children, standing motionless near the guardrails or wandering aimlessly across the lanes. In some cases, the apparitions are accompanied by fleeting sensations, such as a sudden drop in temperature or the smell of salt water tinged with decay. One particularly chilling account involves a family returning from a beach vacation. As they drove past a notoriously treacherous curve, their teenage daughter pointed excitedly at a figure standing near the guardrail. "Look, Mom! Someone needs help!" she exclaimed. Before the parents could react, the figure vanished, leaving the entire family shaken and unable to explain what they had seen. The Veil Between Worlds, exploring the cultural significance of haunted roads like Orange Avenue, State Road 44, and U.S. Route 19 are more than mere conduits for travel. They serve as powerful symbols of humanity's enduring fascination with the supernatural. These spectral byways embody a unique intersection of history, psychology, and culture, reflecting societal fears, unresolved grief, and the timeless quest to make sense of the unknown. Their legends, deeply woven into the fabric of local communities, transcend individual accounts of paranormal activity to become collective narratives that shape how we view life, death, and the spaces in between. From a historical perspective, haunted roads often emerge as extensions of the events that shaped their surroundings. Tragedies such as fatal accidents, violent crimes, or wartime casualties leave indelible marks on the land, creating what some might call psychic scars. These sites become focal points for communal memory, where the past refuses to fade quietly into obscurity. For instance, the haunting of Orange Avenue ties directly to the rise of automotive transportation in the early 20th century, a period marked by rapid technological advancement but also significant human cost. Similarly, the legends surrounding State Road 44 echo broader themes of displacement and loss tied to Florida's development, while U.S. Route 19's spectral figures evoke the dangers inherent in mankind's relentless pursuit of progress. By preserving these stories, communities ensure that the sacrifices and struggles of earlier generations remain relevant, even as time marches forward. Psychologically, haunted roads tap into primal fears that transcend cultural boundaries: the fear of isolation, the fear of the unknown, and the fear of mortality itself. Driving alone at night, especially along remote stretches of highway, can heighten vulnerability and sensory awareness, making individuals more susceptible to perceiving anomalies. The phenomenon known as pareidolia, the tendency to interpret random patterns as meaningful shapes or figures, further amplifies this effect. Shadows cast by tree branches, reflections in wet pavement, or distant lights refracted through fog often take on sinister forms in the mind's eye, transforming ordinary sights into ghostly apparitions. Moreover, the repetitive nature of driving, monotonous stretches of road combined with the rhythmic hum of tires, can induce altered states of consciousness, blurring the line between reality and imagination. In this context, haunted roads become mirrors of the subconscious, reflecting not only external threats but internal anxieties about control, safety, and existential uncertainty. Culturally, haunted roads occupy a liminal space where fact and fiction converge. They are fertile ground for storytelling, offering endless possibilities for reinterpretation and embellishment. Urban legends associated with these roads often incorporate elements of morality tales, cautionary warnings, or wish fulfillment. For example, the ghostly hitchhikers commonly reported along haunted roads frequently embody archetypal figures: the wronged woman seeking justice, the lost child yearning for reunion, or the wanderer searching for absolution. These characters resonate because they speak to universal human experiences: love, loss, regret, and redemption. Furthermore, haunted roads provide a canvas for exploring deeper questions about identity and belonging. Are the spirits bound to these places former residents whose lives were cut tragically short? Or are they symbolic representations of unresolved tensions within the community? Such ambiguities invite reflection, fostering a sense of connection to both the land and its history. The chills beyond the wheel, personal encounters with the supernatural. To truly grasp the eerie allure of Florida's haunted roads, one must listen to the first-hand accounts of those who have braved their spectral corridors and lived to tell the tale. These personal stories, raw and unfiltered, breathe life into the legends, transforming abstract tales into visceral experiences that linger in the mind long after the engine has been turned off. From seasoned truck drivers to unsuspecting tourists, each encounter adds a layer of authenticity to the haunting narratives, reinforcing the idea that these roads are not merely figments of imagination but tangible realms where the supernatural intrudes upon the everyday. Take, for instance, Sarah Mitchell, a college student from Tampa who recounted her harrowing experience on Orange Avenue during a late-night drive home from a study session. "I was halfway down the road when I saw her," Sarah recalls, her voice trembling even months later. "A woman in a white dress, standing right in the middle of the lane. I slammed on my brakes, thinking she'd run across, but she just disappeared. No movement, no sound, just gone. My hands were shaking so bad I had to pull over. That's when I heard it, this faint, sobbing noise like someone crying in the distance. It felt like she was still there, even though I couldn't see her anymore. Sarah's story aligns eerily with the legend of Evelyn Harper, the ghostly figure said to haunt the same stretch of road. Her account not only corroborates earlier reports but also highlights the emotional weight carried by these encounters, a blend of terror and sorrow that defies rational explanation. Equally compelling is the testimony of Mark Thompson, a delivery driver who has spent decades traversing Florida's highways. His brush with the paranormal occurred on State Road 44, a route he knew well but had always approached with a mix of wariness and skepticism. It was around midnight, and I was passing through that curve near Arapica, Mark explains. Out of nowhere, I saw this guy in a black cloak standing smack in the middle of the road. I honked, expecting him to move, but he didn't budge. I swerved to avoid hitting him, and when I looked back in my rearview mirror, he wasn't there. That's when things got weird. My radio started switching stations by itself, and the temperature inside the cab dropped so fast I could see my breath. I didn't stop again until I hit the next town. Mark's description of the black-cloaked wanderer matches other reports, yet his reaction underscores a common thread among witnesses: the instinctive urge to flee, driven by an overwhelming sense of dread. Perhaps the most chilling account comes from a couple, Lisa and David Reynolds, who stumbled upon U.S. Route 19's ghostly guardrail phenomenon while returning from a weekend getaway. We were laughing about something stupid when our daughter screamed, Lisa recounts. She pointed out the window, and there he was, a man leaning against the guardrail, staring straight at us. He looked real, like flesh and blood, but when we slowed down, he vanished. Just poof. Gone. But the worst part? When we got home, we found scratch marks on the side of our car, like someone had clawed at it while we were driving. The couple's experience exemplifies the physical manifestations sometimes reported alongside visual sightings, adding a tangible dimension to the otherwise intangible. These first-hand accounts are not isolated incidents but pieces of a larger puzzle, each contributing to a mosaic of evidence that defies easy dismissal. What makes them particularly compelling is their consistency across different witnesses, locations, and circumstances. Whether it's the sudden appearance of spectral figures, inexplicable changes in environmental conditions, or unshakable feelings of being watched, the recurring motifs suggest a pattern that transcends coincidence. Moreover, the emotional toll of these encounters cannot be overstated. Many witnesses describe sleepless nights, heightened anxiety, and a lingering sense of unease that follows them long after the initial event. For some, the experience becomes transformative, reshaping their beliefs about life, death, and the possibility of an afterlife. Shadows on Asphalt, a psychological dive into the haunted roads phenomenon. The persistent allure of Florida's haunted roads raises intriguing questions about the human psyche and its susceptibility to the supernatural. Why do certain individuals report vivid encounters with ghostly apparitions while others remain oblivious to any anomalies? What underlying factors contribute to the perception of these roads as haunted, and how does our psychological makeup influence such experiences? To unravel these mysteries, we must delve into the interplay between cognitive processes, environmental stimuli, and cultural conditioning. At the core of many paranormal encounters lies the concept of suggestion, a powerful tool that primes the mind to perceive the extraordinary. Stories of haunted roads, often passed down through generations or amplified by media portrayals, create a framework of expectation. When drivers enter these areas, they are subconsciously attuned to notice details that align with pre-existing narratives. For example, the sight of a shadowy figure near a guardrail might be dismissed as a trick of the light in a neutral setting, but on a road reputed to be haunted, it becomes a potential ghost. This phenomenon, known as confirmation bias, reinforces belief systems and perpetuates the cycle of reported sightings. Individuals who are aware of the legends surrounding a particular road are more likely to interpret ambiguous stimuli as evidence of the supernatural, effectively shaping their reality through selective perception. The lingering echoes. Why haunted roads continue to captivate us. Haunted roads, with their spectral legends and eerie atmospheres, possess an undeniable magnetism that transcends generations and cultures. Their enduring appeal lies in their ability to evoke a primal sense of wonder and fear, tapping into universal human emotions that are as old as storytelling itself. These roads are more than mere conduits of travel. They are thresholds into the unknown, where the mundane meets the mysterious, and the ordinary brushes against the extraordinary. Their stories, steeped in tragedy, resilience, and the supernatural, resonate deeply because they reflect our collective hopes, fears, and curiosities about what lies beyond the veil of reality. At the heart of their allure is the tension between familiarity and uncertainty. Roads are inherently familiar spaces, places we navigate daily, often without thought. Yet, when infused with tales of ghostly apparitions, unexplained phenomena, and tragic histories, they transform into liminal zones where the predictable gives way to the unpredictable. This juxtaposition creates a potent cocktail of intrigue and unease, drawing us in with promises of adventure while simultaneously warning us of danger. The duality of attraction and repulsion is what makes haunted roads so compelling. They invite exploration even as they instill caution, embodying the timeless human desire to confront the unknown despite its risks. Moreover, haunted roads serve as mirrors of our inner worlds, reflecting the anxieties and aspirations that define the human condition. They remind us of our own fragility, the inevitability of loss, and the mysteries of existence. In a world increasingly dominated by science and technology, these spectral byways offer a rare opportunity to embrace the irrational, to indulge in the thrill of the inexplicable. They challenge us to question the boundaries of reality, and to consider the possibility that there may be forces at work beyond our comprehension. This blend of intellectual stimulation and emotional resonance ensures that haunted roads remain fixtures in our cultural imagination, inspiring countless retellings, investigations, and creative works. The cultural significance of haunted roads extends beyond individual fascination to encompass broader societal themes. They are repositories of history, preserving the memories of those who came before and the events that shaped their lives. Through their legends, we connect with the past, honoring the struggles and triumphs of earlier generations while grappling with the unresolved traumas that haunt our collective psyche. At the same time, haunted roads act as catalysts for community bonding, providing shared narratives that unite people across diverse backgrounds. Whether gathered around a campfire swapping ghost stories or participating in guided tours of infamous stretches, individuals find common ground in their fascination with these spectral highways. Ultimately, haunted roads captivate us because they embody the essence of storytelling itself, the eternal quest to make sense of the world and our place within it. They remind us that life is full of mysteries, both literal and metaphorical, and that sometimes, the most profound truths lie just beyond the edge of understanding. As long as humans continue to seek meaning in the shadows, haunted roads will remain timeless symbols of our enduring fascination with the unseen, beckoning us to explore their depths and confront the chills that linger in their wake. Journey's end. Reflecting on the shadows we leave behind as we bring this chilling journey to a close, it's impossible not to marvel at the haunting tapestry woven by Florida's most infamous roads. Each twist and turn along Orange Avenue, State Road 44, and U.S. Route 19 has unveiled stories that are as rich in history as they are steeped in mystery. These spectral highways, with their ghostly apparitions and eerie legends, serve as poignant reminders of the delicate balance between the past and present, the seen and unseen. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to question the boundaries of reality, and to acknowledge the shadows that linger in the corners of our everyday lives. The tales of these haunted roads are not merely relics of folklore, they are living narratives that continue to evolve with each new encounter. Whether driven by personal curiosity, cultural tradition, or the simple thrill of the unknown, these stories resonate because they tap into something profoundly human, the need to make sense of the inexplicable. They remind us that every road we travel carries its own history, its own secrets, and perhaps its own spirits. And while the legends may vary, from the grieving mother of SR 44 to the enigmatic wanderer of US Route 19, they all share a common thread, the enduring power of memory and the indelible mark left by those who came before. Yet, as captivating as these tales are, they also invite introspection. What do these haunted roads reveal about us? About our fears, our desires, and our relentless pursuit of connection, even with the unseen? Perhaps the true magic of these spectral byways lies not in the ghosts themselves, but in the way they compel us to confront our own vulnerabilities and curiosities. They remind us that life is a journey filled with both light and shadow, and that sometimes, it is in the darkest corners that we find the most profound truths. So, as you step away from this exploration of Florida's haunted roads, take a moment to reflect on the paths you've traveled in your own life. Consider the stories you carry, the memories you leave behind, and the mysteries that still await discovery. After all, every road has its secrets, and every traveler has their tale. Who knows? The next time you find yourself driving under the moonlit skies of the Sunshine State, you might just catch a glimpse of something, or someone, that defies explanation. Until then, keep your headlights bright, your senses sharp, and your heart open to the wonders and chills that lie just beyond the horizon.